कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत और रंगों की बरखा है, खुशबू की आंधी है, महकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं. Hi, this is Shankar Mahadevan. Welcome to my studio. For me, music is an ongoing journey, not only about singing and composing music, but it's also about learning every day. You know, inspiration, ideas, and melodies, they strike at the most undecided moments. Today, if I sit and say, hey, I'm going to create the most amazing tune over here, today may be the most horrible tune to compose, but you're stuck in the traffic jam, you're boarding a flight, and this melody suddenly comes to you. That is when you need technology to leverage that moment, because the faster it comes, the faster it goes. In today's day, you don't need 100 people to play everything together. They used to do that because of lack of technology. I'm working with international musicians and we record, comfortably, and they are playing there, we are recording over here. You don't even lose one single KB of data. Performance is communication. A performer communicates to his audience with music. If you have a beautiful voice, it needs to be captured beautifully through technology. For me, technology is built for performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Skyesports Streamers Showdown, presented by AMD, powered by Ruchir. We are back here with the day 2. I know you guys were missing the streamers action, but alongside me, it's going to be back again with the innocent face. Inferno, how are you doing, my friend, today?
Thank you for the warm welcome, Lucifer. And we are back again with a day 2. We were not able to come yesterday just because of some technical issues going around in BGMI. But yes, guys, we are back again with the streamers today and with the streamers around by Skyesports. We all are so hyped up. And again, let's just see who's going to win this 1 lakh prize pool.
Oh my god, this is going to be a brilliant matchup that we are going to be seeing. And you know what, as you said, 1 lakh, it's still the launch party that we will be seeing, and we'll be figuring out on how teams are going to be functioning. But again, this launch party will help them understand how it's going to be working out. But right now, let's jump into the game. The game has already started. Why miss the action, which we were waiting for, as it is right in front of your screens? We can see the flight path. It's going to be traveling from, a little bit diagonal, as we are seeing in the previous days as well. On day 1, Inferno, if you remember, it was this similar flight path which was favoring the edges of the map, and this time as well it is highly favoring the southern edges.
Absolutely, but let's just see where the circle gonna be going there. And if a circle is going on Southern Island, that will be a really great one, because Southern Islands are different and they're actually intense to predict, and let's just see if it will be happening or not. But yeah, I'm waiting for the close range encounter. But the circle, it is a really good one. IGLs are happy, teams are happy, most of the teams are into the zone in the starting phases, and that's a really good call for them.
Right now, yeah, I agree with you. Most of the teams are in the circle, which will be good, because they don't have to be worried about the circle later down the line. But again, there is something that we call about rotations, right? The circle can switch anywhere. Now, highly probable it can maximum go up till Yasnaya, but not further than that. We'll be looking forward to if that is the case or not. But right now, in the initial drop, I'm looking forward to if there's any drop clashes or not. That's going to be the interesting point here, Inferno.
Indeed, here you can see team number 8 coming with the loot scenario, and I think so there's no team out there, so we cannot see any initial fights, and that's a really good call for them. Not taking fights in the starting phases, that's a really good one. There's no casualty in the starting phases, that's a really good one for you all guys. Just loot it up, go into the zone and get a good positioning.
Yeah, get yourselves geared up, because as we've seen, right, Streamers Showdown, we were initially talking about it that maybe this does not feel like I would say just the streamer showdown, which is here for all these players and these content creators to have fun, but actually go out guns blazing and go ahead and gear up for the title itself. But right now, as we're talking, we can see Ghatak's team. They are right now looking towards team number 13, and they're looking forward to take them down. Right across the bridge are these two teams waiting for the opportunity, but who's going to be getting the first shot? There is damage coming on Prime, who's under the bridge. Unfortunate for him to get back into action because trailing behind him is going to be G-Star, and I don't think Prime has the idea. And Prime, he gives a little bit of an info. He's going to be down, and that's the reason he's trying to make sure he breathes underwater and survives. And finally has spotted G-Star. G-Star has propped up his weapon. He's trying to take those shots. I think it'll be a little bit difficult, but you can see how low Prime is. So even a stray bullet that connects in that spray will take him down.
Absolutely, he's just so low on HP right now. He have to do some really good and have to initiate a really good initial plan or escape plan. Let's just see how he's gonna be doing it. But yeah, Godl Ghatak taking fight into it, and I think so this is going to be a fair 4-on-4 head-to-head fight. There's no team for the third party scenario close range encounters, so that's a really good call for them. They can have a 4v4 fight, but Lucy, there's one call. They don't have a particular good loot.
We were just talking over it, right? Initial fights, you need to get some loot that is good for your team. UMP on this range, I don't think it should be able to do a lot. I mean, you can see there are some initial bullets that are connecting, but once the opponent decides to send off a couple of his own rounds, you could see how much damage it did. So it's going to be very tough. In the meantime, Hirsch, who is trying to knock from the window, from the watchtower, he's knocked himself. And no player near him can revive him because this team, number 17, is not playing together. They're having a tough start here itself, Inferno.
Absolutely, let's just see. Right now, all the teams are coming in the loot, and you can see fight is initially coming in, and that's a really good one. But I think so there is some technical issues. Lucifer again coming in, and I think it happens most of the time.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Audience, sorry for that, but yeah, we'll be fixing it really soon.
Yeah, we will be get back into it. I mean,
Yeah.
it happens, right? It's some jitters and stutters over there. I mean, it's just the start, but we are going to be getting in again into the game itself. And I think from there on, it's going to be a tough one. But as we see team number 17, they're going to be having a tough time. And after that, if they have a lot more drops or enemy, I would say in terms of the life that they have in terms of eliminations and casualties, it's going to be even more difficult, Inferno. So let's hope that they're back into the game itself. Other than that, if you want to discuss about this very start, there's nothing in specific that is new, right? We saw teams trying to get for the loot, and as you also mentioned, they did not get the loot which they wanted and missed out on the opportunity of kind of capitalizing that bridge fight. One player was underwater, another player was in watchtower, the other players were somewhere around the lines of that teammates, but never close apart. So I think if they keep having this similar situation, it's going to be a tough one for them. But right now, I guess we are back into the action without any delay. We're seeing that as we speculated, that this fight with team number 17 should be a complete elimination. They were a complete 4-man squad, but you can see just 3 players have been found. The 4th player, I think, has survived and run away until the end, trying to find a way out. But let's hope he finds a lot more points.
Absolutely, all the teams are coming in the loot, and you can see the fights going on the Pochinki as well. You know, the fights are going over there, and here you go. Godl is Power coming in the fight against Blind, and it's a small, I think so, rivalry going all around. A 4-on-4 head-to-head fight. It's all so much fair right now, but waiting for the initial picks, and then you can just aggress on your team, on their opponent.
Initial picks is all where you get the confidence here, Inferno. So if they do get it, it's going to be a good one to see. But right as now, Spower video, remember his unbelievable 1v3 close to clutch. I will still call it a clutch if he had the opportunity where he could get into cover. He could have gotten that clutch and the chicken dinner for his team. But right now, they have all the 4 players standing. So this should be fairly an easy fight coming in. But on the other side, we know that it's going to be Castro who's believing. I think it's Blind Cycle's team. We're just getting a confirmation on that it's going to be Ruchir's team who's going to be fighting right now against this, but we are back on Ghatak's team, who just won that duel, got 3 finishes for them. So at least in the start, Ghatak's team has a good time, because if you remember, right, Inferno, when we started off on day 1, Ghatak's team in firepower was really good. They were doing the damage, but they were unable to hold themselves, survive in the map, and they used to kind of lose players one after another, and the entire squad would disappear.
Absolutely, but look at the zone, Lucifer. Teams are taking 4-on-4 head-to-head fight. You can see fights going on Rozhok and Pochinki, and I think so on Pochinki you can witness close-range encounter as well and a third-party closure as well. But there's a lot of breathing space into the zone, and there's a lot of vacant space into the zone. Teams can go out there and just hold the compounds and just can make for the can play for the position points as well. But NFRU is taking some of those players picked out, but XN coming up with a really good trade.
Let's see how it's going to be working out. But as we said, it's going to be Blind Psycho's team here in Pochinki. But it looks like there's one more team, that is Lolz team, who are trailing right at the, I would say, corners of Pochinki. If they try to get into the fight as a third party, they might have a difficult time. But in the meantime, we are also having team number 11. That's going to be Kronten's team, who are trying to enter and get into the fight. But they've also understood that I think this third party situations is something that we might not be ready for. But Midfail's team gets caught out in the rotation. And again, rotations proving disastrous for a couple of teams.
Absolutely. On the Rozhok Hill, you can see team number 11, XN, coming up with a casualty out there, converted in 3-man, and that's a bad news for them, and that's a really vast disadvantage for them, because if they're coming in the fight and if the opponent team are 4-man, absolutely they are at a disadvantage of the numbers, so they need to be something so much careful right now, and I think so they can go on a passive stance and just hold the compounds and wait for the slam outs, wait for the right opportunity to take some teams down and take some third party closures as well, and that will be the really good and call and decision for them. But right now on Rozhok, everything is so very on point. Hastar, as you can see on the screens, having the first finish, and that's a really good call.
And yes, Hastar's, at least the start of the day looks good. He's gotten 1 kill for himself. Previously, it was not the case. So I hope they're up for the next upcoming fights. They've taken 1 player down from Kronten's team, but can they pick a lot more is the question here, Inferno.
Here you go, team Vaadhi is coming in the fights. As you can see, Ace Black has been down. Maxi, Vaadhi and Goku are the only 3 men standing over there. Kratos and Abhi Bug are been picked out. Oh, and Anto, the man, the legend, the myth is over there with A-Bot. Duo and Survival. Team number 18, and that's going to be the question. Who gonna bless this one out? Is it team number 4? And I think against A-Bot. Maxi is losing that thing, and A-Bot is also traded out, and that's a really good one. Anto coming out of nowhere, and that's a 1v1 situation converted in.
Oh my god, I mean, if Vaadhiyaar's team did not have Gokul surviving, this would have been their end. But this is where we said the 2v2 can swing either way. And right now what Anto is also doing is trying to recover his teammates. But on the other end, talking about Vaadhi's team, I think they have a better opportunity to recovering all the players. But we did also see Lolz team who are kind of trailing around the corners and the, I would say, edges of Pochinki. But right now they're at a different position where they're kind of caught out by a team getting sprayed down. That's going to be team number 12. I think it's Sharkshee's team that we are seeing right now, and it is going to be Sharkshee's team. They've found them as they were trying to rotate and trying to go for loot is what I think, and they're doing the damage on them. But can they actually make it work is the question right now. I mean, because Sharkshee's team not only found one team that's going to be Lolz, but they've also been spotted by another team, and they're taking 2 duels with separate teams in 2 different angles. So we've always seen when a team picks 2 duels and it's at different directions, it's kind of their own, I would say, deathbed calling them.
Of course, and it is also called the sandwich situation as well. Like you are getting sandwiches and you are just getting down from the 2 of the sides. But yeah, Maxi coming in against Anto. All the revival points has been completed, and the fight and the equation is reset again. It's a 3-on-3 battle going all around, and I think so it's going to be so tough call for team number 18, because as they are in a good compounded region, but they are on the lower ridge.
This high ridge, low ridge battle, it can swing either way. But right now, we have a 3v3 situation. We were thinking that maybe Anto's team might come out on a disadvantage, but somehow the last player surviving, Anto himself, has brought the next other 2 players back to their feet and geared up for the fight. But look at this, Vaadhi is also not happy about it. He's also lost Ace Black over there. So this might be an even Stevens 3v3 situation, but whoever has the hunger to take down the other team just because they lost one of their teammates is going to be the one team coming on top of that position.
Absolutely, that 3v3 is going over there. But if we talk about the most of the sections of Erangel, you can see ruins area. There's a lot of team coming in over there, and the collectible moment going all around. And I think so. This is time to take some of those third-party close range encounters as well. As you can see, Domi has been picked out from the side of Hastar, and in today's day, you can see Lucy. Team Hastar is actually booming off.
Oh, I really like it. Team Hastar making it work, doing the damage on many teams and feeling confident. I think they've practiced. The day they got kind of not playing and maybe having a break in between, it kind of worked out in their favor and they're doing justice. But right now, look at this. Vaadhi's team. They've understood that this might be a battle that they might come on top of. But it's already the second circle. We are going to be seeing the third and the fourth upcoming. And if they don't have an advantage in their circle, it's going to be difficult. And you know why they're making the move. Look at how far they're from the circle. But this number of teams in the circle itself is so humongous. We have only lost one squad. There's still 15 other squads fighting here in Erangel in the first match where Group A and B are fighting. And they're still looking forward to what best can be done.
Absolutely, but look at that. The northern side of the zone is all vacant, all empty, but the southern side, there's a lot of team going over there. There's a lot of chaos all going around. Third party close-range encounters, multiple fights happening on the same moment of time. All the teams have to be so much careful because now teams are getting so much deadly.
This is going to be interesting. Right now we are seeing Eagles team. They've also spotted team number 9, but it's going to be Mogambo only who's been spotted. That's going to be from team Kaashvi. We remember previously as well, this happened on Miramar where Mogambo and another player from a different team was kind of spotted out in the open. It was a 1v1 duel, but Mogambo felt confident when his teammates kind of helped him out. This time, I don't see any players from Team Kaashvi trying to help him out. But again, Eagles team also picking 2 different battles. Might be the decider they want to stay away from. But in the meantime, Mogambo finds an opportunity, finds a ray of hope that he immediately jumps into his vehicle and runs away.
Absolutely. On our screens right now, but yeah, coming on Mr. Spray W, he's just not stopping over there, taking some sprays on PS Mogambo. He's just barely surviving behind it. There's a lot more angle, some of those pixels of Mogambo available. So I think so he can take some of those sprays, but unfortunately he's behind the cover. That's unfortunate for Mr. Spray, but that's fortunate for Mogambo going all around. But let's just see who's gonna take that one too again. PS Mogambo in some of those critical situations, Lucy. So he had to do something over there and have to play some sneaky plays, I think.
I mean, he had to run away from an entire squad, so he did. He did get into some compounds which has some bare covers that he can be okay with. But how long can he survive? Because he did run away from one squad, he is now spotted from Sharkshee squad. But in the meantime, you can see that Midfail's team is also having a very tough time. I think they did get completely eliminated. That's why we saw the confirmations coming through. And yes, we have lost another squad in Erangel on day 2. So a couple of teams who have not had a good time is going to be Kronten's team as well as Midfail's team. Midfail's team, previously when they started off on day 1 here in Inferno, they did not have a great start. But during the battle at the end circles, they had a 2-2 split. From there, they started losing players one after another. But after that, what happened? They were able to regroup and kind of that fight came in their, I would say, favor. But right now, we did see earlier Ghatak's team, they did have a casualty themselves as well. So this 3v3 fight can swing either way. So Ghatak, oh wait, it's not a 3v3 fight. It does become a 3v3 after Star goes down with a volley and grenade coming through. Vaadhi spots him, immediately goes in for the finish point and yes, get that confirmation for himself. Knight, he's waiting for an opportunity. But in the meantime, another player gets knocked. Now Ghatak and his teammate, the last 2 survivors, need to kind of find a way and a path through this fight.
Absolutely, that is going so humongous right now, and that's got to be the huge. That grenade was so very cooked on and coming up with a really good knocked out. Skills coming out of nowhere, taking Marcos down. That's a really good pick out, and I think so he's taking out that kill as well. Yeah, absolutely, he's taking the kill out down. But look at that. 3 of the teams are taking fight on the lower edge, and the fight of lower and the higher edge just started again.
The number of teams here at Ruins is just crazy, but again the circle has moved away and it's looking like it's crossing over to the island of shooting range of Stalmer. Let's hope that make their way, but Guru, his position is kind of known because who puts out the smoke out in the open? That means somebody is right now hiding in the smoke. But in the meantime, we did see Vaadhi's team. I think Ghatak has spotted him, but Ghatak is waiting for the right opportunity because his health is not that good. But King, he did not do anything. He could not do anything. Vaadhi just pushes him, makes sure his UMP destroys and wrecks him. And now it's all up to Ghatak, but Mek and him also being eliminated, I guess, because he's not only spotted from Vaadhi's team, but also from the other teams who are waiting to eliminate him as soon as possible. But here we are seeing Shakshee's team also having a tough time, but finally Evil Surya puts an end to the team which was in front of him and takes down Orion, and I think that should be the end for them as Spower's team get eliminated due to the circle by the play zone. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. I mean, Erangel, we see very fewer deaths Inferno because of the play zone.
Absolutely, but look at the zone right now. Again, there's only one team on the northern side and taking fight, a 4v4 fight. Godl Kiki has been also down out of the zone. I don't think there's zone entry or something else. I don't know what's going out there, but maybe miscommunication can be the factor of the death. But yeah, coming over there, HH Worthy is the only Solomon survival over there. Obe taking a fight and eliminating their opponent team. That's a really good one. Got a Lolz team coming into the zone. But yeah, there's one more team coming in the upfront. So they have to take a fight as well. They can just choke on the rotations and get some really good picks.
No. Kaashvi's team, they're losing players. One player he drowned in the river, and it's going to be another one. Mogambo also drowns. He receives the bullets coming in from Knight. But I really like how Knight and Ghatak, they have changed the entire momentum of the fight. You saw that, right? Vaadhi's team had a 3-player squad. But right now, it's only Vaadhiyaar standing. I mean, he's not even standing, he's just prone. But in the meantime, we saw Kaashvi's team as well as Anto's team being eliminated. Unfortunate. Natasha's team also. That's surprising that we kind of never saw Natasha on our screens, but she's already eliminated. So this is a little bit surprising of now Natasha was how aggressive and how confident she was playing in the first day with her team. Today, she's just lost. But Sharkshee's team, as they were rotating, because of one small wrong move with the buggy, gets stuck with the boulder and right now has to survive and save Ray. He's going to be the one who's trying to act as a solo player here because he's the one who hit that boulder. But again, Lolz team has the opportunity to kind of falter right here, but it's all about the timing. If Shakshee's team pick the fight, they might have an advantage and a capitalization.
Yeah, Worthy's the solo survival over there. He's just able to survive over there, but those grenades, they are on so very point. Lolz has been picked out, and I think so they have to go for the revolve point as well. Kiki has been down, William, Lolz, and T2 are still surviving over there with some re-smokes as well. Skills are making a pancake over there, but you can see that particular grenade picking out and destructing Team Godl Lolz right now.
This is going to be... I'm unable to kind of figure out what's happening, right? Because sometimes it looks like one team is fighting it out and then all of a sudden the team starts losing. But I would say right now, Eagles team, I think, has lost one player. It will get updated very soon. But otherwise, every other squad that we are seeing, it's majority that it's just a 3-player squad. Ghatak's team, they found a way to right now get out, but they have to cross a bridge. And if they do try to cross a bridge, they'll have an even tougher time. And that's the reason they make use of their swimming capabilities and try to swim across to the lands that is there and get into the circle. But in the meantime, the team that is holding them is going to be Shakshee's team. A brilliant spray coming from Mr. Spray himself. He connects a lot of those billiards on the last surviving player from Team Lolz. But let's see if he's going to be getting the confirmation as a finish point. But the entire team of Sharkshee has 6 total finishes and looking and faring better than every other team. But again, they have to make sure that their position does not get compromised. But as we were talking about compromise, Hastar's team gets compromised this time. Demon, he's left with barely surviving HP, and Demon is trying to patch himself right out in the open, and he's prone. Thankfully, those bushes are kind of helping out, but for how long?
Absolutely. Teams are fighting with the blue zone, with the play area, but teams are fighting with the water as well. You can see water bodies are playing a major role in this match just because they are not able to get the zone entry. You can see William has been spotted in the water midst. Mr. Spray is just picking it around, and I think so, Godl Rebel. He's just dealing a tough time over there, getting out of the threat, coming to the shore, and I think so that will be the major factor over there. You can see on the backside, on that shore, able to come into the zone, I think so. Godl Rebel still barely surviving in the water, and I think so he can come to the shore as well. But no, he's been down by the Mr. Spray WO. He's just being unstoppable. Finally, William has been down.
Mr. Spray, wrong move. I was about to call that, but he makes the wrong commitment. he knew he wanted the finishes, but he spotted two different teams and he got a little bit greedy over there and gets punished from Alpha. And right now Hastar's team, even though they've lost Hastar, they've not lost their confidence, they've not lost their momentum. They're still trying to bring back the fight, but for how long? They are at the brink of also being affected by the play zone itself, so that's also something that they have to be worried about. But Ghatak's team somehow surviving between the crosses of the opponents and right now making a move out. But look at the position and off angle found from Skrills. He takes down both the last two surviving players from Hastar's team and puts an end to their run here on their angle.
Absolutely, but look at the finishes right now. They're having freaking 9 finishes. One more kill coming in a double-digit number, and that's a really good call for them. And I think so they can do this thing. There are 3 men standing over there. As you can see, multiple teams are still surviving. We have the top 5 teams, top 12 players surviving in the lobby still, coming in the fight with that MG3. OB Blue taking a really good pick out, and OB Blue has been also down by the side of Willy and taking a really beautiful trade.
Right now, I'm unable to figure out what's actually happening here, Inferno, because there's chaos spread everywhere. I'm trying to figure out, wait, this team is on top? No, the opponent team immediately strikes on that team. But right now, somehow the team which made it into the circle first, we saw them, that was Willy's team, is trying to survive still, but for how long? They have just had one finish, so the confidence is not in them. But in the meantime, we did see how Eagles team was performing. They were looking forward to the finishes. They have 7 finishes on their name and are looking to top the chart and also end this first map with a chicken dinner. But how Sharkshee's team is playing together is really commendable. They still have the 3-player squad and they're still trying to make their move, but they have to climb the ridge. There was a smoke coming through, and I think this might be their opportunity. Through the smoke, if they try to push up, they might be able to take down range, and there are grenades coming his way. A brilliant connection from Evil Surya takes down Rage, and now I would say, we talk about it, right? The complications start opening up here for Team Eagle. Ghatak is down on the other end. Nightnub, he's trying to help Ghatak back onto the feet, but in the meantime, Obey Blue as well. He's trying to help Rage back into the fight.
Absolutely, that was a brilliant, outstanding grenade going out there and taking the players out. Still 5 players are still surviving over there, as you can see. HH coming up with the double-digit one and taking 10 freaking finishes, and that's a really good number for them. And you can see you can just witness the domination. You can feel the vibe of dominance over there. What an amazing sovereignty from the teams. But yeah, you can see Blind still surviving, just barely surviving over there. Solo man, he had to do some sneaky plays. It's better to do smokes. It's better to get a right opportunity to take some kills in the third party, and that will be the really great call for them.
Let's see if they can right now, but Sharkshee Sword, how they're playing is really good. I really like how they're able to kind of change their pace up. They're able to act on top of an opportunity, and I think if they keep trying to do that, they might have the best opportunity. Not only that, their backside is completely clear here if you look at Inferno on the map. Also on top of that, they're right at the edge of the circle. So I think they're at the best spot, but there is Nightnub. Right after eliminating Ghatak, Nightnub will not be happy that Ghatak himself is down right now. He'll be looking and plotting for revenge. So he can trail around the play zone and go for the backstab, and if he finds an opportunity, he can do a lot more in terms of damage. But Rage, the team Eagle will be happy that he's back into action, but as I was about to say he's back into action, Willy gets a brilliant knock, and in the meantime again, Blue pushing and propping up near the buggy to get Rage back to his feet and into the fight. But look at that, the sprays are coming in from Willy. He's making sure that the target he had set, he confirms the finish as well.
Absolutely, Ghatak, Psycho still surviving over there on the solo man standing. As you can see, Eagle, 2 men standing, Willy, Sharkshee, but Sharkshee is just not stopping. The team is just not stopping. Team Ghatak has been eliminated, and by the hands of Sharkshee, they are getting 1 more finish points, being unstoppable. And you can see the domination going all around, but that grenade was just so on very point. Blue is just barely surviving on the 30 HP, going with some more grenades, and I think so that will be enough. Absolutely, that was on point.
This is a brilliant stance and positioning coming in from Sharkshee's team. They look highly probable to get this chicken dinner. Blue is also down, and right now the last survivor coming in from Blind Psycho's team, he spotted Blue, but he's not letting go of his trigger, right? Because that's the right move. He knows if he makes the mistake, he'll lose the opportunity. But in the meantime, Falcon making his position very known by taking down players from Willy, and Falcon's position is spotted out, and this is what Blind Psycho was waiting for. Finds the opportunity, props up near the drop, and also gets himself a finish as well. And with that finish, he's able to finish off the entire squad. Now, Blind Psycho's position with that wrong move is known, but on the other end, Sharkshee's team, this might be the opportunity that they completely capitalize and make sure they get the chicken dinner, or this might be the wrong move that they do, where they pick two individual fights and they get eliminated. But look at this play zone, gives them an upper hand and eliminates the last surviving player from Blind Psycho. And this is what I was saying, it's all about the circle, and Sharkshee's team, they make it into the circle and completely get it under their control. Soil and Chanu OP are the last two surviving players from Willy, but can they do anything? It's a 2v3 situation. The best odds right now is a 2v3 to pull off, but are they ready for it? Helmet right now on Sohail is not looking that good. On the other end, Skrills, his vest is not looking good. So it's all about the initial connections, and the initial connection from Skrills is brilliant with that spray on Sohail. And the last surviving player is going to be Shanu, and Shanu reveals his position, and look at how the entire team is rushing on, and they're going to be taking down and getting the chicken dinner for themselves. It's going to be Shakshee's team.
What an amazing, brilliant performance from their side, and popping off the performance you can see. That is just so on very point. It was something amazing that we've just witnessed. Congratulations, Team Sharkshee, for making that winner chicken dinner happen.
Oh, this is just brilliant here, Inferno.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just kind of thinking about how they push up, but that moment, right, when Rage put up his smoke, that's when they had to push up, and they did do it. But they did not do it in terms of putting down a connection with their spray, but it was a connection coming down with that grenade. And as soon as Rage went down, they took the opportunity of pushing up, and as soon as they pushed up, you saw what happened. They were more than happy to get themselves a chicken dinner and control of the circle, which is very crucial at the end fights.
Absolutely, and I would like to highlight one point: the zone factor. You have seen the zone. In the third zone, you can see there was a northern side shift. But yeah, absolutely, you can see teams are coming in the cluster in the southern side, and there's a lot of teams coming in the southern side and taking 3v3 fights, and coming in some of those third party enclosures and third party fights as well. But yeah, what an amazing performance we have just witnessed from the Sharkshee side, getting more than 10 plus kills, and that is a really good performance boost up, because in the day one, what we have just witnessed, Lucy, that was just nothing from the side of Team Sharkshee, right? But today you can see you can see the analysis, you can see the homework they just did. It is so on point.
It was on point, truly. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but it was something that kind of I got a little bit worried about on how it's going to be happening. But let's quickly take a look on today's schedule, where you'll be seeing that the first one is right now just over. It's going to be a wrangle that we just finished, where Sharkshee's team has gotten the chicken dinner for themselves. But after that, we are going to be heading down to Miramar, the sandy dune plains and fights, where snipers are going to be coming into action here. And I'm looking forward to how these snipers are going to be making it work, because we have been missing those bolt action sounds itself. I wouldn't say the finishes, but in terms of the sounds that players pick it up, go for the arm action, and if it happens, I'm going to be the person who will be loving it. But here it was just gun game coming through. But one surprising thing was how Kronten's team and Natasha's team kind of fell off, because when we were seeing Kronten's team, they did take down one entire squad, had finishes in their name, and they were trying to go ahead during rotation. We just switched to another team. I think that time we were looking at Ghatak's team, and Kronten's team, from the live feed, live status that we see, they had disappeared. They were the first squad to be eliminated. That was surprising. Same goes for Natasha's team we never saw, and all of a sudden when we see the live feed, we end up seeing that Natasha's team is also out. So these two things, a little bit of a surpriser here on the start of day 2, but as we expected, right, Inferno, teams as we go ahead will be able to read each other out, and as soon as they read each other, they're going to be looking forward to take them down one after another. And so I think Shakshee's team, the way they played together, was the reason they got this chicken dinner on the first map itself on day 2.
Absolutely, and I would like to also highlight one key point, that is just the 3v3 fight going all around. As you can see, Vaadhiyaar taking fight against OR Anto. As you can see, like that fight was my favorite pick. If you were talking about my favorite moment of this match, that would be that one, because coming in a 1v1 situation and then converting it in a 3v3 again, that was something amazing that I've witnessed it. So yeah, it was too amazing, and that fight was also my favorite. What was your favorite moment in this match, Lucy?
My favorite point, as I did mention here as well, I was just calling it out. I mean, I did not think that Shakshi's team would do it. Blind Rage was near that tree, right? He propped up a smoke and he wanted to run away. But we will talk a lot more about it. Right now, we'll take a quick short break. You guys don't go anywhere because there are a lot more actions coming your way.
Hi, this is Shankar Mahadevan. Welcome to my studio. For me, music is an ongoing journey, not only about singing and... कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत और रंगों की बरखा है, खुशबू की आंधी है, महकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं. Hi, this is Shankar Mahadevan. Welcome to my studio. For me, music is an ongoing journey, not only about singing and composing music, but it's also about learning every day. You know, inspiration, ideas and melodies, they strike at the most undecided moments. Today, if I sit and say, hey, I'm going to create the most amazing tune over here, today may be the most horrible tune you compose, but you're stuck in the traffic jam, you're boarding a flight, and this melody suddenly comes to you. That is when you need technology to leverage that moment, because the faster it comes, the faster it goes. In today's day, you don't need 100 people to play everything together. They used to do that because of lack of technology. I'm working with international musicians and we record, comfortably, and they are playing there, we are recording over here. You don't even lose one single KB of data. Performance is communication. A performer communicates to his audience with music. If you have a beautiful voice, it needs to be captured beautifully through technology. For me, technology is built for performance. कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत और रंगों की बरखा है, खुशबू की आंधी है, महकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं. Hi, this is Shankar Mahadevan. Welcome to my studio. For me, music is an ongoing journey, not only about singing and composing music, but it's also about learning every day. Inspiration, ideas and melodies, they strike at the most undecided moments. Today, if I sit and say, hey, I'm going to create the most amazing tune over here, today may be the most horrible tune you compose, but you're stuck in the traffic jam, you're boarding a flight, and this melody suddenly comes to you. That is when you need technology to leverage that moment, because the faster it comes, the faster it goes. In today's day, you don't need 100 people to play everything together. They used to do that because of lack of technology. I'm working with international musicians and we record, comfortably, and they are playing there, we are recording over here. You don't even lose one single KB of data. Performance is communication. A performer communicates to his audience with music. If you have a beautiful voice, it needs to be captured beautifully through technology. For me, technology is built for performance. कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत और रंगों की बरखा है, खुशबू की आंधी है, महकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं. Hi, this is Shankar Mahadevan. Welcome to my studio. For me, music is an ongoing journey, not only about singing and composing music, but it's also about learning every day. You know, inspiration, ideas, and melodies, they strike at the most undecided moments. Today, if I sit and say, hey, I'm going to create the most amazing tune over here, today may be the most horrible tune to compose, but you're stuck in the traffic jam, you're boarding a flight, and this melody suddenly comes to you. That is when you need technology to leverage that moment, because the faster it comes, the faster it goes. In today's day, you don't need 100 people to play everything together. They used to do that because of lack of technology. I'm working with international musicians and we record, comfortably, and they are playing there, we are recording over here. You don't even lose one single KB of data. Performance is communication. A performer communicates to his audience with music. If you have a beautiful voice, it needs to be captured beautifully through technology. For me, technology is built for performance. कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की रुत और रंगों की बरखा है, खुशबू की आंधी है, महकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं, बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं. Hi, this is Shankar Mahadevan. Welcome to my studio. For me, music is an ongoing journey, not only about singing and composing music, but it's also about learning every day. Those
who know performance know AMD Ryzen. Get the latest gaming laptops powered by AMD Ryzen processors.
Now, Inferno, Oh yes, finally. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Skyesports Streamers Showdown presented by AMD, powered by Ruchir. We are back here. We just finished the wrangle where we saw a brilliant chicken dinner coming in from Team Sharkshee. It was, yes, amazing. We kind of were thinking of how will this team kind of get back into the action,
Yeah.
but there were a couple of teams who kind of fell off. There were a couple of teams who came up well, but Inferno, we did say, right, teams are going to be starting to gear up, start reading their opponents, and that's what has started happening here. And we are seeing a brilliant time right now. But let's quickly jump into the points table itself. We'll have a discussion there and even get more info out of how our audience will be looking at how this whole table in the overall standings will be affecting. Right as of now, it's Anto, I think, if I'm not wrong, on day one was on the top charts, but you can see Anto right now, he's at the 11th position with just 3 total points. On the other end, Shakshi's team very close to getting the 30 bomber match, but this time the second place team here is not close to their, I would say, winner chicken dinner team. Because if you take, yes, I would say day one stats Inferno, you would see at least for the first and the second team having same number of total points, irrespective that a team had chicken dinner, they would able to match 24 points, 22 points with their winner chicken dinner team.
Absolutely. Sakshi coming out with 28 total points, and that's a really good one. But as we were talking about Anto, right? In the yesterday days, we have seen that he was just doing so outstanding. But yeah, if we talk about the overall standings, but again, Team Anto coming up on the first page on the #1, having overall points of 69. And if we talk about #7, that's gotta be the Team Guru Gaming, Natasha, Spower, Vivone, Antaryami, Vaadhiyaar, and Joker ki haveli.
Right now, there might not be a lot in terms of, I would say, changes in the overall standings after match 7, but even a single point is something that these teams need to be worried about, because today is the last day, right, of the launch party. So if they don't function well today and they get taken down, their chance of winning that 1 lakh for the Skyesports Streamers Showdown on the launch party will be kind of washed away. I mean, we understand it's a total of 15 lakhs, but out of that, 1 lakhs is going to be here, 1.5 lakhs they're going to be getting on the league stage, and 12.5 lakhs will be opened up. The treasure chest will be in the grand finals. But these teams in the second page is going to be having a tough time, and the teams on the third page are going to be having an even tougher situation and time, because getting to 50 and 60 points in the first page to where they are is a huge ask. But again, because here Inferno, the point difference is not high, because if you even take here from Team Crow, right, they might be in a difference of 50 points, right,
Yep.
maximum. But what do they have to do? Win 2 back-to-back matches and deny the team on top, that is Anto, from winning a lot more points and making sure that they lose points and they're the ones gaining points. But in a given day, it's going to be difficult. But right now, let's talk about the MVP itself. It's going to be Nightnub. So many times he saved this team from falling apart. First towards ruins, he got Nightnub saved his team from that 3v3 situation from Vaadhiyaar's team, and then as they were crossing and swimming, he saved Ghatak as well over there for a couple of minutes more, and then he tried to find a couple of finishes as well. So he had to be that MVP for the team and picked up the responsibility. But still, it's not done, right? The deed is not done until we see all the matches. This next map is going to be Miramar, where we're going to be seeing these teams trying to figure out a way through. But Inferno, I want to know if you think in Miramar it's going to be a new team, because the entire day one of the launch party, we see all new teams taking the winner chicken dinner. But what do you think today? Is it also going to be new teams that we didn't see on day one?
I think I really think that the teams on the second page will be falling apart and they will be bouncing on, and that will be really great one. We have seen Sharkshee and more of the teams coming in and bouncing up, and that's a really good one, right? We have seen Team Anto, they were just falling apart, but that was the advantage and that was the right opportunity for Team Sharkshee and coming up and rising in point tables and in the matches. So yeah, absolutely. I really think that in Miramar, there's something different teams coming up and bouncing off.
On Miramar, anything can happen. It's all
Yeah.
about teams getting isolated or not. But right now, as we're talking about Miramar, let's jump into Miramar itself. The map is ready. The players have jumped, I would say, gotten themselves into the plane itself and strapped down the seat belts. Let's see if they'll be able to jump out into safe positions or going to be having their initial drop casualties or not. But as we are seeing, it's going to be again a completely southern favored flight path. I don't know what's happening from day 1 to day 2. We are still seeing the same kind of flight paths, but quickly I want you to let our audience know the groups which are fighting here on Miramar.
If we talk about Group A, Team Ghatak, Vaadhiyaar, Midfail, Guru Gaming, Eagle, Lolz, Kaashvi and Willy. Group C, that's got to be Maxtern, Rebel, Ruchir, Vivone, the small superstar, Kaztro, Antaryami, Crow and Mayur Gaming upcoming over there, and you can see fights coming on Montenovo. Oh my god, it's not even the 10 seconds past in the game and you can see phone for head-to-head fight coming on Montenovo. That's something different we are just witnessing.
I mean, unfortunate, but this is what happens in every map. If you don't pay attention to your surroundings, who is jumping alongside you, you're going to be taken down, and we are seeing that happening here. Unfortunate for, I think it should be Kaashvi's team again. Previously also did happen. We can see Guru's team as well. They're just going in the safe spot, but we were talking about this. This time it's going to be Kastro's team who's trying to make the damage happen, and yes, it was Kaashvi's team. They've lost one player, and Kastro's team is not looking forward to give up this fight, right? They've already taken one player down, so they're rushing and trying to find the other players first and then give the call. Mini 14 was in the hands of one of the players of the Kaztro. Winner right now has an M4 and also is trying to get more ammo for himself, and this was Spy OP who had a Mini 14. With the UMP, it's going to be Tycho ML Sam trying to also rush in and play as a duo over there with his teammate, and as they have cover. But in the meantime, you can see Team Kaashvi, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, not having great loot. They're just trying to run around and find things out. And Mighty FPS was simply standing still. And ML Sam and his teammate, they're going to be making sure he pays the price for it.
Absolutely, coming in the fight over there, you can see having 2 freaking finishes in the starting. That's a really good advantage for them, and that's a really good start and a good call of Miramar. Let's just see if they are able to make the same balance, same pace, and if they are able to, like, do the same things in the upcoming moments. That will be a really good one. Coming up on this fight, team number 16, as you can see, Hastar's team getting the first pick, and as you can see, Lucy, the days are changing, the starts are changing. Team Hastar, finally they are playing aggressive today.
Oh wait, it's Antaryami's team, not Hastar. It was, yes, I mean, we did see the same number with Hastar's team. This is going to be Antaryami's team who's going to be making their entry here. Hastar will be taking a break for now, at least in this map. He's going to be meeting us in the next time. But Eagle's team, we saw them, right? They were trying to make their way in and trying to get a better position. But eventually at the last circle, they lost. What was this Antaryami? Previously when they got down at Miramar, they looked like the great kings who could take down anybody, but right now it looks like just Blue is running around spotting the players from Antaryami's team and just taking them down, and now the entire squad comes through and they eliminate all the last surviving players. Antaryami, he's going to be having some small banter and he's going to be making sure that the reason he picked up this early fight will be punished for the same reason.
Absolutely, Antaryami, they're just doing really well. Ishika plays, as you can see, spotted some of those players over there. Took a really good damage, but that wasn't fine. Going for the heal patch up, and that's a really good one, as you can see. Now this is a fight going all around. One player has been down, Ishika plays, the team is ripping apart, the team is falling down. PH Mogambo being the solo survivor.
He's the last survivor. I mean, Ishika trying to do something, but right now look at Mogambo. He knew a player will try to push up close, did do some damage, but it's just again chip damage, nothing for them to be worried about. They can immediately patch themselves up and be better. Winter is already waiting inside the house and Emil Sam is just walking across making noise. Mogambo is just hearing the noise, using that as bait, but I think very soon Mogambo might fall apart as Emil Sam is pushing up because there's no way to recover Ishika right as of now. Winter, I mean, this molly does connect. The molly on the hands of Ishika does work out. There is just bandages on Winter, will be able to patch himself up and get up for the fight. But where is Mogambo? Still inside the houses, running around, saving himself for the team Ishika. I'm sorry, Team Kaashvi, and finally Ishika does fall, and I think that's going to be something that they will not be happy about. And previously also this happened, you remember, right? Mogambo, he was caught as a sole survivor. I was running around and they did eliminate him. Kaashvi's team could not help him out over there because I think he went for an individual look. This time the entire team was together in front, but still they could not do anything. M4 and a UMP. They're making a rush over here. Does the damage to Skyesports? Kevin also pushing up, and Kevin is going to be making sure his AKM is able to take down the last surviving player, and that's the end for Team Kaashvi.
Absolutely. Team Kaashvi getting eliminated. If you talk about over here, team number 18 coming in the fight against team number 17. Let's see who's going to win this one again. But yep, coming in a 4-on-4 head-to-head battle. That's going to be a really good one because the equation is so balanced right now. You can see all the 4 players are still surviving. That's a really good one. But as you can see, he's so much low. He's just behind that tree, hiding out. That's a really good spot because I think so. Surya don't have any of the idea about it, but from behind you can see Kunal coming out over nowhere and that's a really good one, taking more picks, lost nearness. The temperature is getting high and this 4-on-4 battle is coming and converting really fine.
It was not like Miramar, the temperature was low, right? It was already high from the start, and right now these teams going head to head, giving it their all, taking each other out is just brilliant. And now look at this, Mayur Gaming and Crow. Both of these teams are trying to control these compounds, but it is Mayur's Gaming's team who have found the first opening for themselves, done the damage on Crow's team, and now they'll be trying to figure out what better they can do here. But in the meantime, I mean, 3-man squad is still a good one. I've seen teams able to clutch it out, Inferno, but can it happen right now? Tiger wants to cross over, uses the smoke, but Kira spots but at the last moment and just has an Uzi to play with, and you know, right, Uzi in close range can be completely destroying, but right now it's not going to be the case.
Absolutely, lost Leonis. Still the fights are going over there. One of the players has been picked out. That's a really good one. Tiger has been also down, and that's a really good pick out. Two players are still surviving, and I think there's the only decision they can take. Just fall out from this fight. Don't take and don't do commitments in the fight because you guys are on a 4v2 situation, and if you guys are 2-man situation, of course, taking a 4-man player team down, that's got to be a big task for you all guys.
Yeah, 4v2 is going to be tough, guys, and that's the reason they're immediately backing off. They don't have a vehicle as well, but in the early stages, they don't have the loot. So both the ways they are right now completely tied up. Even if they try to push up at max, maybe they find a finish, but even that's going to be tough because they might find a knock and immediately get traded out. So he's going to be sick. He's going to be running away in a different direction. But when we see, right, just a couple of players surviving, it's better to stick together. Amar and Sick being the last survivors from Crow, I'm unable to understand why they're going in 2 different directions, especially in the compounds. When Lost Leonis, it is so big, you can never be worry-free that there are no other teams in the surrounding neighboring compounds. So I hope they kind of figure a way through that nobody finds them and are able to survive later parts of the circle. But right now we are seeing Midfail's team. This time they look better and ready for the fights. You can see level 3 helmet, level 3 vest coming in. I mean, bandages are there along with energy drinks, but we are still missing those first aids as well as the med kits coming through. So let's hope they find it. Other players do have from his team. Vaadhiyaar's team, who were a little bit closer to coming to chicken dinner, if they would have won the fight against Team Ghatak, it might have been the case, but I don't understand. Entire team Vaadi is ahead of him. They had entered the circle, but Vaadhiyaar, he's lagging behind. He's like trailing behind. But I think that's also a good move here, Inferno, if you think about it, because if you're trailing behind, you're able to see if there's any backstabs coming through. And if you see any backstabs, you call it for your team. And what happens to your team that is ahead, they're going to be able to put a stop to them. But right now, Guru's team, as they're rotating, they're meeting another team. I think it's going to be Ghatak's team. So if these two kind of have an opportunity to kind of see each other, we might end up seeing a rotational clash as well.
Absolutely, Godl Kiki on our screens right now, having 0 finishes in the start. That's a decent one in the second zone. But, you know, Kaztro, you can see, having 4 freaking finishes in the start is really good. But the start of Team Kaashvi, on the other hand, Antaryami as well, Team Crow as well, they are just not able to do things over there. You can see, like, you know, players are just losing the fights, the players are just losing their players, and that's not a good one. Godl Ghatak coming out, and he's been also down from the side of Issa Pain coming in the fight. That's a really good one for the opponent team. But Godl Ghatak, where you guys are taking fight, I want to have a look on you all guys as well. Let's just see what's the situation is over there.
I mean, it was happening at the northern edge of the circle where it was Guru's team entering, and this is what I said. It is a rotational clash, and unfortunate, Ghatak is the only person who gets caught. But in the meantime, Orion, you need to be worried about it. Thankfully, he did have a first aid, patches himself up, and is good for the fight. And it's just the second circle, so it's basically chip damage happening. But look at that, they're using this as bait. King is coming. They're seeing King right now. They're trying to spray it out. There's a molly. Oh wait, it's a smoke. Finally changed. I was thinking like mollying your own teammate over there, but nonetheless, here Guru's team, they understand right now it's the second circle, and the play zone itself, it has started moving. So if they make any wrong move and let it move into the circle, then there will be a third play zone coming through, which will do even more damage, and it'll not be looking good for them. But nonetheless, they let Ghatak survive and Ghatak's teammate to recover him.
Absolutely, Mark was down. Every one of them. You can see, like, fights are going over there, but most of the teams are not getting the finishes. You can see more of the fights going over there. Hastar is coming in the fight. Shanu has been also down. Multiple fights are happening on the same moment now. I was talking about fights are not happening, and now you can see most of the teams are coming in the fight, and that's a really good call for them. Multiple teams will be getting some of those more finishes. They will be coming more and more finishes, but for some teams that's a really bad call for them. As you can see, Maxtern team, two of the players are still knocked out. They have to go for the revival point. And you can see Godl Rebel, the small guy is over here. The small Chota Pack Bada Dhamaka is over here.
He's the rising superstar, as we call him. He has an entire beast of a team with him, but right now we are seeing Willy's team taking a head-on battle against their opponents. Maxtern, they're trying to do the damage. They do take down MacOG, and right now it's one last surviving player from the team. Can they actually make and do the damage and finish the entire squad is the question, and I think they're just dead, and they're going to be finishing off Maxtern's squad, and there's nothing else Maxtern and his entire team could do. 4 finishes coming here for Willy. I mean, previously as well, Willy and his entire squad was the first team to enter the circle on a wrangle. But it happened that Shakshee's team, with the amount of aggression that they were entering, they were able to capitalize space for themselves. They were able to capitalize on those casualties that were happening. But Midfail, I mean, previously we saw him in Inferno. He was in the compound, but this time he's been bulldozed by a vehicle.
Absolutely, he's just, dead with that and get knocked out with that vehicle as well. But I think so they can go for the revival point as well if it's possible. So yeah, absolutely go for it. But let's just see what's the condition going all around, because it's all about the situation and it's all about your positioning, right? The revival point will be positioned or not. That will be the main factor over there. But you can see on the left hand side, they are coming for the third party enclosure as well. But this fight of Godl, as you can see, this team is having a really good advantage of the higher ridge, and that's a really good thing. Having a higher ridge in Miramar, Lucy, that's the best advantage you can have.
On Miramar, I agree. Completely second that play. Higher ridge play is going to be working, because you can spot anybody doing rotation. That's what happens. But look at the play coming from Beast. Did he knock 2 players together over there? I don't think so. He did let one player barely survive. But what was that move? And now look at that, the entire team is pushing up, Hellgod giving the cover, and finally it's just one last surviving player over there, and I think it should be coming down. That Rebel squad will also be wiped out.
What an amazing play! What an amazing play, Lucy! Like, those spray from the side of Beast was so on very point, and they were so clean. What an amazing performance. As you can see now, Alpha is being solo and survival over there, and I think so, yeah, absolutely. Team Vivone is going to push on them, and I think so main MVP of this fight gotta be amazingly Beast. Let's just see if they can go and spam out some of those utilities, and that will be their really great one. And I think so, absolutely, the team is going to be get eliminated. Solomon survival over there had to do that one before that, and that graded was so on very point.
Wow.
Team V1, one of the best 4v4 fight I have ever seen in a streamer showdown in Miramar.
Well, look at this. Amar found an opportunity and an opening. We were just talking about it. The last 2 surviving players from Crow, if they do it right, they might be able to come out on top. Let's find one on Hellgod, but I don't know what happened, that there was no communication or something missing, because Sick, he should have pushed up. If Sick would have pushed up, the 2 last trailing players from Vivone's team would have been taken down, and the team which took down an entire squad of Rebel would have been left to just being 2 players right now. But Amar, he's still holding very aggressive and closer, and right now also looks like, I think, oh no, he's outside the circle in the compounds. So I think this is going to be difficult right now. After calling in a fight with a 4-player squad and thinking that now you might have a chance, especially that they are at closer to the circle compared to you guys. The play zone is also pushing in, and I think right now they've picked up a very wrong calculated fight coming in from the last 2 surviving players from Team Crow. If they move right now here at the edges of the Los Leones compound, they're going to be walking right into their elimination.
Look at the zone coming out of nowhere and shifting a really good hardship. Most of the teams are out of the zone. They have to rotate in so sneakily, but 2 of the teams are still into the zone and being in the very center of the map. But if we talk about over there, OP is coming in the fight again. Mayur and taking a really good one shot, one tap of Surya, and he's been down. Kunal Gamer, and that grenade was so on very point coming out of nowhere. Again, this is it. Excel OP and Vivone are the knocked out, and I think so for OB, this is the right particular moment to he's out of nowhere. He's just pushing the top 3.
Oh no!
That's not a right decision over there. That you gonna do it. Rage being Excel OP pushing, and as you can see, Hellcat being the solo. That thing as well, taking a trade knockdown. Survival over there, coming in a 1v1 situation. X and OP going for the revival point. That's a really good decision, but they have to go for the grenade as well, and I think so that grenade will be the last call over there from the out of nowhere. Still he's also rotating into the zone. Oh my god, what an amazing clusterable moment.
Oh my god, Miramar, never disappointing. Eagle, Vivone and Mayur Gaming, and finally it's going to be Vivone's squad, and we have always talked about it, right? In Miramar, you should never pick up a fight out in the open without thinking twice about where you actually are and what can happen. They were at the edge of the circle, and what happens at the edge of the circle? Many teams start entering, because we know, right, at the second and the third circle is where you see teams doing late rotation and finding a way to enter. But what a great try coming in from him. 4 finishes, a clean sweep. After that, they had taken majority players from Mayur Gaming's team down, but it is bound to happen. You give out your sound cues on Miramar, you get eliminated. But right now, Guru's team also have given their sound cues, but look at their move. They've come closer to the center of the circle and have taken control of a downrange. I mean, a pit. I wouldn't say that's a good call, but they are hiding, right? So nobody knows their view or position.
Absolutely, as of now, as you can see, Ruchir on our screen with the race coming up with shots, and as you can see, he's been also down. That's a really good one. That's a really good spray coming out of nowhere. As you can see, Obey Blue, he's trying to pick some of those plays in the smoke as well. Bhalu has been also spotted in that smoke. Let's just see what's going to be happening over there. We are on our screens right now. Bhalu is just barely surviving behind that buggy, and I think so having Ruchir is went down, so they have to go for the revival point as well. Multiple teams are coming in the fight over there, but you can see the third party enclosures are been also doing.
But 5 finishes on Blue. We saw Blue playing very well on day 1 in the previous matchup as well, giving revive for his teammates, trying to get those finishes, and he's doing well as well. He has 5 finishes out of the 7 finishes for his entire team. They've done the damage on 2 players from Ruchir's team. It's the last 2 surviving players. Rage has spotted one of those last 2 players. They're looking forward to the second player itself, and if they find both the players, they'll be more than happy. They've seen both the players right now. They know Avinash is at the vehicle, another player is just crossed over going in for the revival and rage. He needs to either give the call for his teammate to push in, but how will they push in here? Because they are also just a 2-player squad against a 4-player squad. So if they don't time it perfectly, what's going to happen is them losing their last 2 players and having only 1 solo surviving player, and then maybe lose the battle here on Miramar as well.
Absolutely. Aim got on our screens right now. Taking some shots of Miri 14, and here you go. You can see the 5th zone Lucifer. Let's just see Ruchir race has been also down. That's not a particular thing over there. Ruchir is been down, but those shots coming from the side of Aim God, a really good one. That was so on very point. 1 headshot, 1 body shot from the Miri 14, and he's been also down. As you can see, taking multiple shots as well on BR1. Barely surviving behind that ridge. He's super very low, so he have to patch up some of those first hits and the painkiller. That would be really good one for them. But yeah, Godl Rebel team being in the zone and having a really good position in the zone.
I don't know how Ruchir's team survived over there and also made it out and now heading into the circle. Surprising. But Castro's team, who initially took down an entire squad, after that we have not seen them doing a lot of stuff. But right now we are seeing Ruchir's team were not happy about what they received from Eagles team and immediately eliminated the last two surviving players. And as I said, how did they find a way to move in? Not only did they find a way to move in, they also found a way to eliminate those players who were putting a difficulty, trying to put a stop to their run. And right now, they're making a little bit of an overextension here. That's going to be Ruchir's team and get spotted out from Midfail's team, who are playing inside the compounds. And finally, when they realize, they're starting to patch themselves up. When they're realizing that it might be somebody behind them, they're not rightly seeing which team it is. Now they've spotted the players from Crow, and it's the last two surviving players. I'm still unable to figure out how Amar and Sikh are surviving, but as soon as I was talking about it, Kiki OP is going to be downing Sikh over there. Very soon a confirmation also might come in because he's left with very little health, and it's going to be Nightnub from Ghatak's team who will be making sure that that player is down and also the finish point is gained.
Absolutely, Godl keeping on our screens right now. With Godl winning, they have to go for the revolve point as well. They have to make some of those smoke screens. That would be a really good one call as well. But yeah, from backend you can see Godl Ghatak team is also coming over there and marching in, having a really good higher range advantage. They can pick some of those players, and that will be the really good one. Spotted out of the zone, Balu with a really good spray. Amar just barely surviving over there, but the kill, the finish has been finalized by the blue zone. Not getting that finish over there. Bit disappointed, but never mind. The blue zone will be the main MVP over there. But yeah, Ace Black has been spotted over there. Mexi has been down, and he's also casualized, having one finish. That's a really good call. But yeah, they are into the zone. If the zone advantage is on them, maybe it's very, very high possibilities that they will be taking that one. A chicken dinner. But no, you can see the zone is just shifting out, and there's only one team coming into the zonal areas.
Ghatak's team is looking very, I would say, angry that during rotation a couple of their players were caught out, but Midfail's team as well didn't have the circle, but they realized they were in a dip, and when they started moving from the dip, they got caught out and players, they started falling apart. But Ruchir's team, they're still fighting it out. They were spotted from Midfail's team previously, but Midfail's team is out right now. So Ruchir's team are right now taking the right calls of which duels they want to take and are also capitalizing. And you were talking about the ridges. They're taking advantage of the ridge, and Star made the mistake of giving them the advantage of the ridge. Both of them were on higher ridge. They had a difference between them of those hills. But right now, we always talk about, right, the first peaking advantage, whoever takes it, they just hold on to it. And that's what Ruchir's team is doing. On the other hand, Vaadhi's team, they have lost Maxi, as you did say, but right now they are the ones who are right at the edge of the circle, but there is no cover at that edge of the circle. So they're just propping up smokes, trying to push up closer, but in the meantime, Ruchir's team making use of the ridges, wanted to push up, but Nightnub read it right. He takes down Balu, but Avinash right now trying to provide cover along with Ronnie, the last two survivors for Ruchir's team. Nightnub, where is Star? Star needs to come in right now. Nightnub is playing around with Ronnie, and it's going to be Nightnub. I feel like getting the connection. The weapon shield is over there, and Ronnie is still able to capitalize and take down Star. On the other end, he's left with very low HP, but he's caught out with Lolz team, so he has a very he was in a sandwich situation. Neither he could have helped Knight over there. Now he has to also fight out with a squad which is in front of him. That's going to be Lolz, but it feels like he will also be finished very soon. But in the meantime, Guru's team gets eliminated, but Lolz, they find Balu as well. So Ruchir's team, they are on in a difficulty, but Vaadhiyaar's team, as we were seeing, we knew they did not have any cover. For them to push up, they were propping smokes, but during that phase, they've lost Gokul as well with one finish and the last two surviving players, and utilities being dumped across their hem. They're having a very tough time. Vaadhi is right now burning. I don't think he's going to be surviving over there. He's trying to dodge, trying to patch himself up, overheal himself, but Castro's team, they're just dumping him with utilities, and that grenade coming in from Emilsam is going to be the end for Vaadhi. He had to gobble it up.
Emilsam, that grenade was so amazing. Coming up out of nowhere, that grenade worked out and did the job over there. The team has been eliminated. Vaadhi has been eliminated. And here you go. BR1 has been also eliminated. Ruchir's team has been also eliminated, as you can see. But yeah, two teams, 3v3 fight you can see on our screens right now. Godl Lolz versus Team of 50. Let's see who's going to be winning this one as well. But yeah, the higher rate is with Team Godl Lolz, and I think so. Who's having the higher rate can win this one too again, because it's Villain coming up with a 1v1 duel and picking out a really good pick, and I think so. It's fight is been reset,
Yeah.
and this fight is going under Team Godl Lolz, and I think so they can just win this one.
It would have been, I would say, Team Castro's, but Spy OP unable to capitalize as he was so close was the reason right now it looks highly favorable for Lolz. But again, Lolz overextending, becoming a little bit greedy, things can completely fall apart. Just because of Nevin, you can see, look at the position that he's in. He spotted at least 2 players from Godl Lolz team, and if he capitalizes and connects spray on both the players, he's going to be taking an advantage. And right now they've come out in the open, the spray comes in, he connects a couple of the shots, he's going in for a second knock as well. He's gotten the first, Billion in the meantime barely surviving, patching himself up. There's a small window gap from the vehicle, Emilsum trying to push up, but unfortunately the ridge not providing him any advantage for the angle. But in the meantime, look at that, they're playing together, trying to go in for the revive. But look at the spray down coming through, they're gunning down. Last surviving player is going to be Billion, but they just jump on top of him like the assassins, and that puts an end as Team Kaztro win the chicken dinner.
What an amazing performance! The way they handled that, the 2v3, it was so outstanding, and this was amazing, Lucifer. It was so outstanding, extraordinary performance, brilliant, and the decisions they were taking, it was so amazing. The crossfire conditions, it was amazing. Like, everything was just so very perfect, and I think so they were just meant to take this winner with a chicken dinner.
I mean, from how they started off, took Kaashvi's team, the way they were able to break Kaashvi's team was just brilliant. And after that, they kept going ahead, right? They did not give up. But what happened was Team Kaztro did not pick any fights. They were with just 4 finishes after that. But in the later circles, they came in, they saw Vaadhi's team, took down that team, got 7 finishes in their name. But after that, Spy OP, he realized that he has to prop up even closer to win the fight against Lolz. But as he was coming up the ridge, the timing was a little bit off, and Lolz players spot him out, knock him, and also finish him. Not like knock and let him survive, use him as a bait. But what Nevin did that, this is what I was saying. If they get over greedy over there without looking for information, they will have to pay the price, and they ended up paying a price. But right now, we'll take a quick short break, discuss more about what happened on Miramar, because it was completely bamboozling. Take a short break, don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is Shankar Mahadevan. Welcome to my studio. For me, music is an ongoing journey, not only about singing and composing music, but it's also about learning every day. You know, inspiration, ideas, and melodies, they strike at the most undecided moments. Today, if I sit and say, hey, I'm going to create the most amazing tune over here, today may be the most horrible tune to compose, but you're stuck in the traffic jam, you're boarding a flight, and this melody suddenly comes to you. That is when you need technology to leverage that moment, because the faster it comes, the faster it goes. In today's day, you don't need 100 people to play everything together. They used to do that because of lack of technology. I'm working with international musicians, and we record, comfortably, and they are playing there, we are recording over here. You don't even lose one single KB of data. Performance is communication. A performer communicates to his audience with music. If you have a beautiful voice, it needs to be captured beautifully through technology. For me, technology is built for performance.
Those who know performance know AMD Ryzen. Get the latest gaming laptops powered by AMD Ryzen processors.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Streamers Showdown. Presented by AMD, powered by Ruchir. We are back here with an intense match that we just witnessed. Raider has joined in right now. He's looking forward to becoming the co-pilot right now. So we are licensing him that. And Raider, how prepared are you after looking at Miramar's action?
Well, after looking at Miramar's action, I can say one thing that the teams are pretty much on to an hyper end. They're going for the aggressive one. It is very, very amazing. The way in the last one, Nevin actually tried to fight back was also very, very amazing. But then eventually the game fall back from his hand. Yeah, I mean, in the map of Miramar, ridges are something which plays a very key role in the last upcoming zones. And if we talk about the prior zones, then rotational crashes are there. Many vehicles are going to go into the flames. So obviously, a lot of things can go south in that particular map. But yeah, of course, we will be waiting for the next one soon enough. I guess it's going to be an Erangel one. So the Phoenixes are going to rise from the start. Because pretty much, you would also agree, Lucifer, that the Erangel is one of those maps where the people actually start to play with.
Exactly. It's a classic map that we end up always seeing that everybody plays with. But right now, let's talk a little about what happened on Miramar, the points of it. Let's switch over to the points table where you can see right now. On the top, it's going to be Kastro's team. As you mentioned, Nevin picking up a fight and then being assisted from his teammate is the reason that Kastro got the chicken dinner. Otherwise, it could have changed. Billion, maybe after patching him, maybe could have immediately gone in for a fight and could have worked in the favor. But nonetheless, a great try coming in from Team Lolz. With 28 points. But Raider, again, this is the same question I asked with Inferno as well when we was on the desk, that when we saw day one, right, the team number 1 and 2, every time in every map had very similar points. If it was 28, it looked 28. If it was 24, it would have been 24, 22, 22. But right now on day 2, as you said, teams are giving it. They're all completely aggressive. Look at the point difference also they're scoring.
I mean, after all, it's all about the prize pool and the stakes that it is here right now. So obviously, 2 days were there for the launch party, and this is the day number 2. It is already match number 8 right now. I guess just 4 more matches to go, and apart from that, only 2 matches for each team. So yeah, that is how the distribution is going to go on for these teams. So I think, Lucifer, teams are trying their level best to gain that momentum, because last 2 matches for them have to be something like creating an impact onto the lobby. Otherwise, I guess all is going to go into the vein.
It is going to be something that we'll be looking forward to on how it's going to be working out with MVP, Emilsam. We saw this man going up with grenades, going in with his weapon to take a fight and just destroying anybody. 3 different teams is what they fought with. Kaashvi's team, it was Emilsam raising hell over there. Then Vaadhi's team, as soon as the position was known, it was just grenade parade, molly parade, everything. Talk about any utilities that you can throw and do damage. That's what Emilsam was doing. And then it should have been the finisher also being dealt from his end, but his position was called out because of the amount of noise he made. But look at it, still 6 finishes is what he was able to take out of the number of finishes. We saw I guess 13, right? In total 28 points, so 13 finishes, out of which 6. So as the contribution says, close to 50% is what Taiko Emilsam did over there.
Indeed, that impact should have been there. But now talking about after match number 8, the overall standing from the launch party of Streamer Showdown presented by Skyesports. Well, we are witnessing Team Anto on the top with 69 amazing points. Team Guru Gaming is still chasing with the Blues, and they are actually leading. Team Anto is leading precisely with 7 points from Team Guru Gaming. If we talk about Vivone, they've yet not crossed the 60-point marker, but they are pretty much close to getting that first position into their perspective. Don't you think so, Lucifer? One good match can easily coin them on the top.
Exactly. All they need is 11 points, and Vivone actually would have gotten here itself. But
Yeah.
whenever we talk about fights, right, I felt a little bit bad because Vivone's team took on Rebel's team. Clean sweep was the thing that we saw. Then they held out the last two surviving players from Crow, because of which the last two surviving players had to go for a different position. And then they spotted Mayur Gaming's players. But unfortunately, they took the fight out in the open, and Vivone's team was spotted from Eagle. And Eagle, as we say, is always very precise on their praise. They picked
Indeed.
them one after another, and Vivone's team was eliminated. So I think first page right now, I wouldn't worry a lot about it. But the second page, and we will talk about the third page. Second page, still, as you said, if they have one or two matches, you can see the starting is going to be Eagle with 52 points. So this
Indeed.
team is also has a chance, needs 17 points. And 17 points is not difficult, right, in a map to get.
17 points. I mean, it is basically, let's say, not that easy also. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
not that difficult, but it is not that easy at the same time. You have to maintain your consistency, gain that position point along with the finishes. Because if you are going very aggressive, you are attaining 15 points in finishes and all, I guess you are also losing some kind of momentum in terms of your position also. But then if we talk about the buffer, as well can see that there is not a lot of buffer between, let's say, hashtag 13 to hashtag 1. One good match can easily coin them, because if I talk about Team Ghatak, they have got 40 points. If one match in which they got to get that winner in chicken dinner, they can easily go up to 60, 64, 65 points, which can easily uplift them in the top charts. But yeah, if we talk about the third phase, the bad side of this whole scenario, Team Crow is not looking that strong, still not getting their 2 points marker in their perspective.
I mean, I'm worried right now,
Yeah.
especially Team Crow. And I mean, this is okay, you can call it, because again, we know, right, this is the launch party. So
Mhm.
a couple of them might be having fun, couple of them might have still not completely understood their opponents. It's not that they are unable to play well, it's just the opponents are faring better on these given matches in the launch party. But if they have a similar show in the league stage that we are going to be seeing right from tomorrow, that's when they'll have an even tougher time, because from the league stage right now you're seeing 24 teams, only 16 top teams from the overall
Yeah.
standings will qualify to the grand finals and will have a chance for the 12.5 lakhs. But we'll see and discuss about it when we come to there. But right now it's going to be a wrangle, and it's going to be Group B and C fighting out. Raider, what do you think is going to be happening? Group A finally getting some rest. Do you think Group B, after the break they took, just like we saw how Group B took a break on day one,
Yeah.
and after that they were just brilliant. It was looking like Group B with that break and the match on Miramar that they got to see, they were prepared and strategized.
I mean, at this moment, would like to say that these streamers have proven me wrong many often. Because if I talk about their strategies, in the day number one, I expected that these are the streamers. They won't look into the matches in their breaks, and they are going to just enjoy the break and all. But the way teams from Group B studied the whole scenario was absolutely amazing, and they came back very strong. Today's day can be actually same. And if we talk about like Group A, now they are going to take a rest and they'll be back in the match number 4. Same goes for them also. I think that they are going to compete very, very brilliantly. Let's see how the matches will go on. But match number 1 in the Sharkshee's corner, match number 2 for Castros. And if we talk about the next upcoming maps, it is absolutely going to be difficult. But now if we talk about Team Kronten, well, there we go. The players are pretty much ready. They are jolly good. They are going to perform very, very brilliantly. Let's see how the carnage is going to go on for Team Kronten, for Team Vivone. Of course, this guy is absolutely amazing for his age, and he's doing the charms.
Oh yes, I agree with you. I mean, he's a superstar, and
Yeah.
at this age, if he's playing BGMI this well, when, if you remember, Raider, at this age we were figuring out why does the refrigerator light get off, how do we balance the switch, trying to figure out how to hold the pen properly, write our ABCDs. This guy has figured out how to play BGMI and is taking down all the top streamers alongside him, and
Indeed.
he himself is one of the top streamers. So this is something that I'm interested. But alongside him, we also saw the other top streamers and their cameras. But Hastar, I'm looking forward to him. The opening on Erangel was good, but he's back here again on Erangel itself, dropping down. His team somewhere tried to stabilize, but once they were caught in the bridges as they were rotating from ruins and getting into the island of shooting range in Severny, and it did not work in their way because they were put a stop coming in from Team Sharkshee. But let's see how teams are going to be faring. But finally, the flight path is what I want to talk about, Raider. If you see the entire day 1 and even the starting of day 2, first 2 maps, we saw the flight path favoring only the southern edges. But right now, it's middle, not completely half, but it's from the northeastern edge towards Yasnaya, ending towards Hospital and Southern Georgiapol apartments. But right now we are already seeing an initial drop clash as well. But the circle,
Indeed.
it's also an interesting one, Raider.
That's what I was, let's say, waiting for, because Circle can